Hello team, Fit with Frank here, ready to give you 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, to free your hamstrings, those big muscles in the back of your legs. Stretch them out so that your back has a bit of release, it feels nice and calm. And if you're doing running or squatting or lunging, all those sort of sports that involve those muscles, you're going to free up space so you can do them better. So find yourself a space, whether it's a mat or just a space in your house, anywhere you want. Warm up with me for a few moon squats, which look like this. I want you to reach high. Inhale, fingertips wide up to the sky. Stretch your chest and then exhale down as low into a squat as you can go and squeeze your hands tight. Inhale, reach up. Stretch, open chest and repeat. Exhale, down low, strong in your hands, deep in the squat. Don't worry how low you've got, just get as low as your body can go today. And over the 10 repetitions of this squat, I want you to feel like you get a little bit deeper and then a little bit wider at the top. It takes time for flexibility to improve, but it does. And even in this short moment of 10 minutes, we're going to feel huge change in our body as the blood's flowing through our veins, the endorphins start rushing through, and hopefully by the end, your hamstrings are not quite as tight as when you arrived. Your body will be happier. One more, as wide as you can, and then as deep and as strong as you can in that squat down low. We're coming up, we're going to roll the shoulders. That's the very brief warm-up done. We've got 2 poses today, only two, but we're going to hold them for as long as we can. Up to 5 minutes, we're going to aim for 3 today, slightly more if you can, but remember these poses, if you ever need them, do them anytime, anywhere, and just stretch your muscles and give them the break they need. So start with your feet hip width or beyond, just wider. I want you to walk your hands down your thighs, tip your hips forward, so you feel a bit of a stretch in the back of those thighs there. If you're super duper tight, like I have been for many, many years, too many years, being here is enough. You can stay here. That's all good. Push your head away from your body, lengthen your spine, let your hamstrings breathe there. If you have got more room though, and I've been working on my hamstrings lately, so I've got a little bit more, I'm going to tip forward and I'm going to reach my hands to the ground, or as close as you can get. Flat hands would be awesome. If you can get your hands flat on the ground, fantastic. As I said, we're going to be holding the pose for as long as we can, more than 3 minutes, which is a long time to hold a stretch. So what I need you to be aware of as you're in this position is what's happening. Well, I'm strong in my feet are pressed into the floor, big toe, little toe, heels pressed in the ground. My knees are slightly bent. My thighs are a little bit tense, so the front of my legs a little bit tense because they're holding me balanced, but then I'm really relaxing everything in the back of my body. So calves, lower leg, up through the hamstrings, top, back of the leg. They pull on my pelvis and my lower back, so all that area needs to relax now. If you can bring your hands to touch opposite elbows, so hand to elbow on opposite side, and really allow yourself now to dangle in what we call ragdoll pose. You're going to get quite an intense release through those hamstrings, through that lower back. And I need you to focus now on your breath because this is going to be challenging. Challenging pose, definitely if you haven't stretched these parts of your body for a while. So think about what's happening. We're going to breathe in our nose today. So inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth today. So inhale the nose, exhale through the mouth. It's on that exhale where you're telling your body, I can stretch now. You're allowed to stretch. It's the exhale that's important for the stretch. So try and lengthen that exhale. For up to 8 seconds. And just feel now as we hold this final minute of the pose, how low can you get into this? How deep can you stretch those hamstrings today? Where can you get to? It's a challenging pose. It's a hard pose, but it is quite rewarding if you can do this regularly. Stick with me if you can, stick with me. We'll do one more breath. Inhale the nose. Exhale the mouth. Slowly walk yourself up. Very, very slowly walk your hands back up. Stand still for a minute. Let the blood come back to the vital areas of your body. You probably feel a little bit wobbly now. A little bit dazed. That's normal because the blood's flown to all sorts of places it's never been before. Just roll your hips around. You've just created some more space into your lower back and your hamstrings by doing that. So well done. If you didn't make the whole 3 minutes, please don't worry. First time I did that, I was crying after about 30 seconds. So you just build up, you just build up. That's the aim of the game. So now what we're going to do to finish the very short stretch today is take one set of hamstrings at a time and isolate them so we can stretch either leg. And we're going to do a couple of minutes on each leg in what we call a runner's stretch, or I call a runner's stretch. You're going to sit upright if possible. Use door handles, chairs, whatever you need to get in the position. Then you're going to try and put your right foot onto your right thigh on the inside. So sole of that right foot into your left thigh. You could start by pressing in the ground behind you, opening your chest, and that might be you. That could be your place to sit for this next couple of minutes. If you've got a bit more room, you've got a bit more space in your hamstrings, what you're going to do is dive your chest, drop your chest towards the thigh of this leg, and you're going to grab something. It might be your back of your leg, it might be your foot, it might be, if you can, your toes would be awesome, but grab something you can hold on to, and then you can go back to breathing as we just did. So inhale in the nose and exhale through the mouth. Remember the exhale, that's when the muscles are saying, okay, I can get longer now. So that's when you're really going to drive forward. So inhale the nose. Exhale the mouth. Try to drop forward. When you do one leg at a time like this, you'll notice you have a difference in one side to the other, and that's very normal. As I say, especially if you are a runner doing this, or even if you just someone who maybe sits down but leans to one side more often. I've noticed that in a lot of clients when their desk job, they might always have, I don't know, their printer to their left, or the back in the day when we were allowed to sit next to people in offices, someone who they always spoke to on their left, and they might find they're tighter on one side. It's so normal. It's important to do one leg at a time to try and make that tighter side as good as, or as close to as good as the other side as possible. Come out of that now. Because you could be crooked a little bit, but too crooked, that leads to problems. That leads to back trouble, that leads to pain later down the line, that leads to you running strange, not as efficiently as you want to. So yeah, really important as we go into this final stretch to think about what's happening. I like to know why I'm stretching something. You might not care, but I'll tell you anyway. Take it on board if you want. Left foot to right thigh, chest high. Inhale, take those steps forward to lean in if you can. Remember, the exhale is when you enhance it. We've got a couple of minutes, so take your time. Take your time. I'm used to being ignored. I have 2 young daughters who I'm trying to homeschool at the minute. And yeah, needless to say, I know my place. That's why I've ended up in my wife's dressing room doing a workout, because I'm not allowed anywhere else in the house right now. It's the only corner left for me. Shout out to anyone who shares the same feelings I do. Love them dearly, love them dearly. Exhale deeper into that hamstring stretch. I'm going to say to stay here for another 20 seconds or so. We'll end the video at the end of this stretch. I'll remind you that we here at Fit with Frank encourage you to do any form of exercise you can, whoever you are, whatever your ability level. So if you're here today because you're someone who suffers with tight muscles or pain, or just fancy doing something different, I welcome you. Thanks for doing my videos. We have lots more on YouTube you can press and play around with. If you want some high energy stuff, that's there for you. If you want some strength training, that's there for you. We've also got lots of yoga videos you can use of different variations of length. So please feel free, try what you can. And remember that exercise always makes us feel better. Movement is medicine. I really believe that. So keep going, keep doing it. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you've hit subscribe as well. Make sure you subscribe. We like you when you subscribe. You get more videos. Have a lovely day. Oh, hamstrings are tight, man.